Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to look at 4 Mikel players at risk if Spotify CEO Daniel Ek buys the Gunners. Several Arsenal players are at risk of losing their spots if Daniel Ek completes a big money takeover of the club. Spotify CEO and co-founder Daniel Ek could soon make a formal bid to buy Arsenal per reports, but the move will leave the futures of several Gunners stars in doubt if the Swede wants to take the club back to the summits of English football. The 38-year-old is believed to have started plans to purchase the club over the weekend following heavy backlash over the Kroenke family's involvement in signing Arsenal up to the European Super League. A protest organised by supporters last Friday demanded that Kroenke Sports and Entertainment, KSE, owned by Stan Kroenke, relinquish their control of the club. However, it is thought that American businessman would want at least £2 billion. Daniel Ek could be supported in putting together a deal by former players Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry and Patrick Vieira. He laid out his intention to buy Arsenal in a tweet on Friday. As a kid growing up, I've cheered for Arsenal as long as I can remember, he said. If KSE would like to sell Arsenal, I'd be happy to throw my hat in the ring. Earlier this year, Daniel Ek's net worth was valued at around $4.7 billion by Forbes. If his takeover were to be completed, Daniel Ek would need to spend vast amounts to ensure Arsenal regularly competes at the top of the league with the likes of Manchester City, Liverpool, Manchester United and Chelsea. So we're going to look at 4 players who could find themselves at risk of losing their place or being sold on if a takeover is sanctioned. So the first person on the list is Hector Bellerin. The right back, who joined the Gunners from Barcelona as a 16-year-old, has had a disrupted few years due to injury. Those have impacted the development of the once highly rated Spaniard. His fitness, alongside Mikel Arteta's preference for Callum Chambers at fullback, have limited Hector Bellerin to 9 Premier League appearances since the turn of the year, out of a possible 17. The 26-year-old also appeared just 42 times across the 2 previous terms. A move for the 22-year-old Inter Milan wingback Achraf Hakimi would be an upgrade, while Hector Bellerin could benefit from better first-team opportunities elsewhere, having seen his career stagnate over the last few years. So the next person on the list is Mohamed Elneny. The Egyptian has never enjoyed a regular spell in the Arsenal team since joining from Basel for around £7 million. The 28-year-old spent last season on loan at Besiktas, finishing 3rd in the Turkish Super League. Despite being linked with a permanent exit last summer, Mohamed Elneny has played 38 times this season, although most of those have come as a substitute appearances or as parts of weakened lineups in the Europa League. Arsenal could feasibly ask for around £10 million to move Mohamed Elneny on, which would help raise further funds to upgrade other areas. So the next person on the list is Bernd Leno. The German was signed from Bayer Leverkusen in 2018 in Arsenal's bid to finally have a long-term number 1. Bernd Leno did well in his first 2 seasons without being spectacular, but suffered a serious knee injury against Brighton during project restarts at the end of the last campaign. Emiliano Martinez deputized and performed exceptionally well. The Argentine was in goal for the 2-1 FA Cup final victory over Chelsea. Emiliano Martinez's good form and Bernd Leno's return to fitness meant the 28-year-old sought first-team opportunities elsewhere, eventually joining Aston Villa for £20 million in the summer transfer window. At times, it has seemed that Arsenal let go of the wrong goalkeeper. While Emiliano Martinez has cemented his position as one of the best goalkeepers in the league, Bernd Leno's form has been inconsistent. The nadir came on Friday when he failed to grasp Richarlison's cross, and the ball deflected into the nets via his knee to hand Everton a 1-0 win. There was also a sending off against Wolves in February when Bernd Leno came charging out of his penalty area and bizarrely handled the ball. Leeds' 20-year-old shot stopper Illan Millier would provide a better alternative if Arsenal were to spend big money on a long-term first-choice goalkeeper. So the final person on the list is Granit Xhaka, a controversial figure at Arsenal who has recently won over the fans following a tough 18 months. It now feels a long time since Granit Xhaka was booed and jeered off the Emirates pitch while being substituted during a 2-2 draw with Crystal Palace in October 2019. Mikel Arteta has helped to turn the Swiss's fortunes around when it once seemed over, and he has made 40 appearances this campaign. But Granit Xhaka has always seemed like a player who could make way for an improved alternative. That could be directly with a defensive midfielder being signed to replace the 28-year-old. A sensational return for former academy graduate Ismail Benakur has been muted over the last few years. Or Granit Xhaka's sale can be used to raise funds for a more attack-minded midfielder, which is an area in which no Arsenal player has nailed down a regular berth. A move for Borussia Dortmund's Julian Brandt is rumoured to be potentially costing just £22 million. These are 4 Mikel Arteta players at risk if Spotify CEO Daniel Ek buys the Gunners, and it looks like the likes of Mohamed Elneny, Hector Bellerin, Granit Xhaka and Bernd Leno may be at risk of losing their spots if Daniel Ek completes a big money takeaway of the club. And it will be a very difficult opportunity for Daniel Ek to take out a stubborn Stan Kroenke in terms of taking over the club and being the sole owner of Arsenal Football Club. So you have to wait and see if the CEO of Spotify will actually buy the Gunners and see if we will have a new owner in recent weeks or months. But we have to wait and see how this pans out. But these are 4 players that are at risk of losing their spots. But other than that, guys, remain blessed. Stay tuned for the next video and peace.